Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we brought a talk to you entitled Status of Stony Coral Tissue Loss Disease across the northern coast of the Dominican Republic. What do we really know? Just to start with sort of a background, Stony Coral Tissue Loss Disease is a serious and ongoing problem in the Dominican Republic. It was first reported in 2019 at Cayo Arena, Punta Rusia, northwest of the Dominican Republic. In 2020, Red Arrecifal Dominicana and TNC designed and published a national action plan to tackle the problem. In 2021, the monitoring program started and is being currently implemented in 3 regions, 3 localities per region, at least 3 sites per location, following a hierarchical sampling design. In total, we have more than 27 reefs that have been monitoring from April and May 2021 and July and August of the same year. So the general objective of this paper is to present what we really know about the stony coral tissue loss disease in the Dominican Republic. As far as specific objectives goes, we want to present spatial patterns observed across the northern coast of the Dominican Republic, where the stony coral tissue loss disease has become highly prevalent. To present new observations on stony coral tissue loss disease for the DR and likely for the Caribbean region, and to discuss next steps and currently efforts that are being conducted to get a better understanding of this problem. Just to describe the study area, I'm going to focus on the northern coast of the Dominican Republic. In this map, you can see the different localities that we sample across the northern coast of the island. We had Punta Rusia at the northern western side of the coast, then Samaná at the opposite side in the northeast area. And in between of these two, we conducted a series of samplings in Sosúa. Just to start to present some of the results that we have collected so far, the spatial distribution of stony coral tissue loss disease, which is the geographical range of occurrence of this disease, significantly varies across regions and locations within regions. And clearly we can see a pattern showing that this disease is restricted or highly prevalent in the northeast of the island. So what we have so far is that the stony coral tissue loss disease is absent or not detected at localities and sites monitored across eastern and southern regions. It is at endemic phase across northwest sites where the disease was first reported, and clearly in an outbreak phase across northeast locations, particularly at Galeras and Samaná Bay. As if we look at the host ranges, we also found that the disease varies across localities within regions and also within sites nested in localities and regions. So the host range is the coral species that are currently being affected by stony coral tissue loss disease along the northern coast of the Dominican Republic. And what we found is that over 10 species, most of them reef builders, are currently being affected. The analysis of Permanova shows that species affected varies across locations and sites, as I mentioned before. And simple analysis, similarity percentage analysis show that species that contribute the most to variation are Monastera cavernosa, which you can see in this NDS plot in the bottom side of it. Pseudodiploria strigosa on the left bottom side of the figure, and Siderastrea, siderea in the right top part of the figure. So what are the new observations that we have made? We found, sadly, we found that the stony coral tissue loss disease is not only affecting the adult coral community, but also the recruits and juvenile coral community. We observe about 9 species being affected by this condition. Being the most affected, Pseudodiploria strigosa, Dichocoenia stockesii, Orbicella, Eusmilia fastigiata, and Siderastrea, siderea, among others. But the prevalence was pretty low. It's normally below 5%. However, this number might be tricky because obviously it is more easy to spot or to find adult colonies having this disease as compared with the small corals that are more difficult to spot. This problem was only observed at the outbreak zone, that is in Galeras, which is in the northern coast, northeastern coast of the Dominican Republic. Here we can see some of the photos. The first one is a Dendrogyra. The second one is a Eusmilia. The third one is a Colpophilia, and so on. Then we have a Pseudodiploria strigosa, Dichocoenia stockesii, a Monastera cavernosa, a Siderastrea, siderea, a Agaricia agaricidis, and finally a dead recruit of Pseudodiploria strigosa. So the message here is that we need to look at the coral recruit community because this might be a very worrisome problem that we are not tackling down so far. Another interesting new observation that we saw is that in an area nearby Cayo Levantado or Cayo Arena, which is within the Samaná Bay, we observe the starfish Oreaster reticulata and Diadema antillaro, both eating sloughing tissues in what we might think is opportunistic behavior. We saw the problem in 3 coral species, Pseudodiploria strigosa, clivosa, and Colpophilia natans, in the case of Diadema antillaro. And Oreaster was found in less than 5% of diseased corals, and that's at that site, and in less than 1% of healthy corals. And finally, Diadema antillaro was only found in a couple of colonies in Fronton and Samaná. This is some of the photos. What I want to highlight here is the sloughing tissue, how the sea star predates, and on the top, on the bottom right part of the photo, you can see the ambulacra when you remove the sea star from the diseased colony. Finally, as far as next steps goes, we want to continue the monitoring plan, expanding temporal observations. We want to collect samples from healthy, apparently healthy, and stony coral tissue loss disease corals to compare across locations, set up permanent plots to determine other epizootiological parameters such as incidence, mortality, recovery, and reinfection rates, to use the data to produce predictive models of occurrence of the disease, And finally, to incorporate education and training programs to increase power of observation in other sites of the Dominican Republic. With that, I would like to finish my presentation, and I am glad to take questions from the audience.